Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all doing today? I hope you're well. Wow, what a difference 24 or so, or a bit more hours make with our weather. So the last time you saw me, I was planting up bed number 2. It was so hot and muggy. It was painful. We've had some rain, and it's the perfect kind of rain that us gardeners love. It's gentle, it's long lasting, none of that whooshing heavy stuff that batters your plants. So it's perfect today for doing some more planting and sowing. The temperature's dropped a bit too, thank goodness, because honestly that heat was so enervating. So today's job is the cathedral bed, bed number 3. So I can plant out all of the squash that I brought on from home. So all the winter squash that I'm hoping will climb up those teepees. They're quite steep. I think they might need a bit of help, but we'll see. And then underplant them all with various leaves, sort of salad leaves, chard, spinach, some beetroot, the lentils, of course. So what I'm thinking of doing with, say, the salad leaves in particular, is where each of those sort of square beds are within the beds, I'll plant the north side of each bed first. So I want to do successional sowing, so I don't have all my lettuce leaves at once, because I can't eat them all at once. But I thought if I do the north side first, they're going to have a chance to grow and have, like, before the squash hopefully take over. Do you know, I've got so many doubts about everything this year. I think I was saying in a few videos back how, I don't know, it just all seems to have knocked my confidence this year. And I was kind of thinking about what's in and what's growing and what's in and not growing, and yeah, I'm really quite concerned, because obviously this is my food. And over the last few years, as I've built up the garden more and more, I've done really well, thank goodness, out of the garden, and I just don't really have to buy much of anything by way of food. But I was thinking, at the moment I've got no sign of any carrots, second sowing, no sign of any parsnips. My brassicas, my first sowing of brassicas, all got eaten by the slugs, so I did a second sowing. They're all up, but they've been at the seed leaf stage for weeks. I mean, they're just, nothing is moving, nothing is growing. So I'll be honest with you, I am feeling a bit concerned about next winter, because in the winter normally I would be relying heavily on carrots, parsnips, potatoes as my kind of starchy foods, and then all the different brassicas for my greens. And at the moment it looks like it's going to be just potatoes. As you've seen, I've had all those lovely donations of tomato plants, thank goodness. It's not nearly as many as I would normally grow, so I just have to bear that in mind when I'm harvesting and bottling or freezing, is to think I just need to ration them a little bit. So I'm kind of now starting to put all my hopes into the beans, because at least with, say, beans and onions and tomatoes, the onions so far look okay, but at least with things like beans and onions and tomatoes, that kind of can form the bulk of my diet. So hopefully I get enough to then last all the way through to next May, because having said that, all my direct sown beans, they're coming up and getting eaten. I've got some backups in the cold frame, luckily. I've got a whole patch of the dwarf beans, the Calypso. I think 2 have come up. Of all the chickpeas I sowed, there's maybe 10 have come up. So I think, I suddenly seem all doom and gloom, don't I? I don't mean to. Look, I love my garden, I love it, and I still get so much joy and pleasure from it. It's just that this year, I don't know, things just aren't working as normal as sort of in previous years, and it is my food. This isn't just a hobby, a pleasure garden, it's my food. So I have to take it a bit seriously. So I think, yeah, I'll get the cathedral bed sorted today. Oh, please let everything work. And then I think over the next few days, I'm going to give the garden a few more days with this rain and the warmth, and if, like say with the chickpeas and the dwarf beans and the clam beans, if things still aren't coming up, I'm just going to have to re-sow everything with whatever seed I've got left. And I think, I'm just looking up on my shelf there, yeah, I've got plenty seed. And actually, I'm just looking now, I've got loads of rock and core, which is the other dwarf French, it's that lovely waxy yellow one. And pretty much all of them have come up. So if the calypso aren't going to come up, I can always just do a full bed of rock and core instead. So, yeah, kind of nervous. Anyway, I remain optimistic. I refuse to be anything other than optimistic. What will be, and we'll just make the most of whatever comes along. But it won't come along unless I go and start planting it and sowing it. So, come on, let's get off down the garden. Right then, first things first, it's, oh no, they're buttons. It's time to find all the various squash for this bed. That is all the gallows. Do you know, I think I can hear rumbles of thunder, and it's starting to rain again. This tray should be, what have we got? Citrine, Violina and honey nut. See, look at, they're looking a little bit yellow. That's telling me they want to go in. So Citrine Violina at the back, Gallo, Carnival is in, honey nuts, I'm looking for one more. I'm looking for baby butternut. Where are they? Where have I put my baby butternuts? That's regular butternut. Ah, babies. Little tiddly babies. And one more that was eaten. Look, the slugs have, I don't know if you can see, but they've bitten it right down there. They haven't even eaten the leaf, they've just basically killed it. Right, let's pop the babies in there. So that's all the squash for this bed. Ah, that rain's starting to come down a bit harder. I think maybe we just pop back in the shed for a second. I can start doing some labelling. Yeah, let's go and do some labels. Well, I think it's just going to be one of those days, in and out of the shed all day. But that's fine, it's quite nice and refreshing to have this, these little of rain. Now, I'm just getting my rocks and pebbles ready. Oh, I've only got 6, I thought, no, 5. Oh, get your rocks, Vivi. Yeah, so I thought I'm just going to, while this bit of rain is splashing down, it's not a huge amount, I thought I'll just come in here, get my labels done, because I'm doing quite a few different bits and bobs under the squash. So if I don't label them, I will forget. What's been a bit annoying, every time I come to the garden, and it's happened again today, for some reason the foxes are yanking out the bottles that I sink for next to squash, cucumbers, what have you. I always sink a bottle for watering because they don't like their stems getting wet. It's never happened before, they've never bothered them. But this morning I've come down, and within the cathedral there's about 5 bottles have been taken out. But even in the cuke bed that you saw me do the other day, and they were like properly on level with the ground, properly firmed in, and they've had those out too. And I don't think it's anything to do with chicken muck either, because there's chicken muck everywhere and it's not bothered them. Anyway, pesky little foxes. Right, should we make some labels? By way of doing this, it'll give me a chance to let you know what I'm sowing. So I'm going to do, this is a lettuce called, oh, I hope my pen's not running out of ink. Reuben's Red. So nearly all the salady leaves, salady things I've bought from the Organic Gardening Catalogue again. Kind of out of habit. I generally over the years with them had good successes, so oh, I don't know, I go up and down in what I think about things, because this year is so weird. I'm kind of paranoid. Anyway, sorry, excuse me. Next is, oh, I think I am losing it. Next I'm going to do a spinach. Actually, I don't think I'm going to, I've done it on that one, haven't I? That's annoying. I'm not going to write the variety, because then if I don't like it and do a different variety next year, I can recycle my rock label. So the spinach is one called Matador, and it says that it's a good variety of summer spinach. So hopefully that means it should be not, hopefully it's got some sort of bolt resistance. The next thing is gorgeous rocket. Oh, I do love rocket in my salad. So the thing with all the salads I'll grow this year and that I've grown in the past, I just like to use them all as a cut and come again crop. So rather than lifting the whole lettuce out, I just take a few leaves from each plant, different plants each time. It means the plants keep going, they stay alive, and I can come back and have more and more and more and more and more. Hopefully, if they grow. Then I'm going to have some chard. I'm actually going to do a mixed chard this year, so a rainbow chard. So hopefully I'll have some nice red stalks and some yellow stalks and some orange stalks. The name's a bit misleading though, because we don't get blue stalks and we don't get violet stalks and all those other lovely colours of the rainbow. Maybe I need to switch to a different pen. Oh yes, maybe this one. Let's have a look. Is this one going to be better? Oh yeah, much better. Chard. Chard's a really useful salady thing as well, because it will grow right through the winter. So when a lot of your other salady stuff and green stuff is gone over, you should still be able to get some good crops from your chard. And then finally, beetroot. For some reason I completely forgot to sow any beetroot last year. This may seem really late for sowing. I've always sown mine quite late, sort of towards the end of May, beginning of June. It just means, again, it's another one that will see me sort of into winter. And then in the winter, if they get quite big and woody, well, actually it doesn't matter, because by the time they're chopped up and in a soup, you don't notice the woodiness. And likewise, chopped up and in my morning smoothie, yeah, again, the woodiness doesn't notice. This rain, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, it's getting heavier, and it was not forecast. We were forecast for it to stop at 10 this morning and then start again at 4 this afternoon. What's the Reuben's red? Oh, it's lettuce. That's why I should have written lettuce, not Reuben's red. Never mind. There's always something to do, even on a rainy day, isn't there? For example, the shed is a bit of a wreck at the moment because there's so much work going on outside in the garden. I'm sure you guys have the same, where you sort of grab what you need, make a mess in the process, finish your day, absolutely exhausted because of the heat, and then just lob everything back in the shed again willy-nilly. So yeah, a rainy day might actually be a useful day for having a bit of a tidy up and a sort out in the shed. And most importantly in this bed, not forgetting my red lentils. So again, this is a complete experiment. These are sold for consumption, for eating, for sprouting and then eating as sprouts, which I love my sprouted bits and bobs at home. Sprouts in a salad, yum yum yum. But I thought, well, if they're vibing enough to sprout, maybe, just maybe, they will grow and produce something of a crop. Oh, it's starting to thunder. Can you hear that? These weather forecasters, I'm just going to show you out of the door a second. Not show you out of the door as in, bye-bye, you are the weakest link. But recently, the weather forecast seems to be absolutely rubbish. You know, oh, sorry, wobbly. We were supposed to get a whole day of thunder and showers on Sunday, and it didn't happen at all. Today we were supposed to be clear for most of the day, but this is not clear. I mean, it's great for the plants, but not so great for planting out. Oh well. I'm not made of soap. If I go out there, I'm not going to dissolve. It's only light, so I might just stick my hat on, take off as many of my clothes as possible whilst retaining my dignity and not offending anyone, and just get planting anyway. Ho hum, pigs bomb. Definitely didn't forecast this. I guess I'm just gonna have to tidy the shed. It's getting heavier. It's kind of lovely though, isn't it? I mean, it's lovely for the garden, but I think there's also something incredibly, I don't know, is it comforting? Of sitting somewhere cosy, snug, dry, and just listening to the rain. Maybe it's a hark back to childhood and camping. In those huge bell tents we used to put up in the Girl Guides. Yeah, that thunder is still rumbling around. Not what I had planned for. Right, I think I'm going to start tidying this shed. At least do something useful with my time. Oh, I know what I could do. I could plant up the little trough that's just outside the door that's going to have my French sweet peppers in. I've got 3 teeny tiny little plants remaining. The slug has had my 4 really big ones. So annoying. Yeah, I'm going to stand under the eaves of the shed and plant my du long de longue peppers. Are you all okay there, under the brolly? Oh, let's quickly pop these in. Also, I'm just going to grab the Epsom salts, which I've just rescued from the bed I was going to plant a second ago. Because they're all going to melt. So I'm going to give all the peppers a wee bit of, oh, not so much Epsom salts as Epsom jelly now. You can see how these are just really my tiddlers. So, oh, I hope they can come to something. Really hope so. I had such, oh, lovely big plants, but like I say, the slugs got there first. And then all I'm going to do in the front, I'm just going to pop some geraniums that I've grown from seed this year. So I've got a couple here in the pot, along with the lemon balm, my £15 lemon balm, which is looking perfectly happy now. Yeah, so this is this year's geranium seedlings. Well, pelargonium, of course, but look, we all call it geranium, don't we? So they're quite tiddly at the moment. But hopefully over the course of the summer they'll bush up. Oh my goodness, that thunder! last year's seedlings. Some of them I forgot about, and they died in the frost this winter. But then I took 3 of them home and overwintered them indoors on my bathroom windowsill, which faces north, so it's just perfect light to keep them ticking over, perfect amount of warmth. One of them got a bit leggy, so I took a cutting from it, retained the mother plant, which was nothing but a stalk, and that's come back to life too. So I'm hoping this week I'll get those down to the garden as well. This one is looking slightly better. Yeah, hopefully I'll get those indoor geraniums back down to the garden this week, and I'll show you the cutting and talk you through how I did it. Right, wasn't the plan for today, but it's nice to get another little bit of the garden planted up, and like I say, fingers firmly crossed for these du long de londe. I'll put that little label back in for now, but I'll make a nicer one. And the other thing I'm doing this year, I'm trying to be really good at, is as soon as I empty a pot, taking it home and washing it up, so that I don't have a mammoth washing session in February or March like I did this year. I washed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pots over the course of 2 or 3 days. So yeah, every time one comes empty, take it home, get it washed, bring it back to the shed, store it ready for next year. I think for once I'm actually going to make a cup of tea in the shed, a nice cup of peppermint tea, and see if this rain will pass. Oh dear. It seems to be getting steadily worse. The thunder has been getting a bit louder and a bit closer. We're getting a little bit of lightning now too. Good job I've got my rubber sole shoes on today. Maybe it'll blow itself out. Oh, what to do. We all have days like this, don't we? It's sort of enforced patience of sitting quietly in one's shed. Maybe it's easing. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. This part of me is thinking, oh, just dash out there now and get the squash planted. I might not do the direct sowing because of the seed packets getting really soggy, but I don't know, that last clap of thunder and bolt of lightning was quite big. And I'm a little bit nervous. So we'll just wait. Rain, rain, go away. Come again in the middle of the night time when I don't need to be in my garden. Cheers, everyone. Oh my goodness. 2.5 hours later. It's still going on. Oh, and you know, I checked the forecast, 15-20 minutes before I left home. They said it was going to do this from about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So I thought, great, 3-hour window, 4-hour window, whatever, race down to the garden, get those squash in, get me salad leaves in. Fiddlesticks. Oh well, it's not been a total waste. I'm trying to put the Pollyanna spin on this. It's not been a total waste. All my labels are done and ready to go. Got my little trough outside planted up with the French sweet peppers. Shed's had a bit of a tidy. It's kind of still looking pretty much a mess. I've had a nice brew. I've had a bite to eat. There's only so much sitting out you can do, isn't there? Oh my goodness. This isn't going to stop, I don't think. And the other thing is, I've got a friend coming over this afternoon. I'd hoped we could come to the garden because he likes my little garden. I was thinking, oh yeah, we can pop over to the garden, and while we're sitting chatting I can maybe harvest my broad beans and pod them whilst we chat and drink some fine English ales together. That's not looking likely. But what I am... oh my goodness, another massive flash of lightning. Oh my giddy goodness. What I'm concerned about now is he's going to be turning up to my flat and I'm going to be pinned down here in this shed. I think I'm just going to have to leg it. I'm going to have to make a run for it. Do you know what? I don't mind thunder and I don't mind rain, but I don't like lightning. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know what to do. Do I run for it? I don't mind getting wet, but I don't want to be... I've got to go past loads of big trees on my way home. Right, I think it's time for me to say cheerio to you all. I hope I see you all again soon. You never know. And out the corner of my eye I've just seen a massive rat run across someone's plot. It's like the end of the world. Right, cheerio everyone. I hope I see you all soon. In the meantime, please take care of yourselves and stay out of the storms. Bye. Just gonna have to leg it.